Today is Monday, Parashat Matot Massei. We're right now during the period of the year known as Ben HaMetzarim. We are to refrain from certain joyous occasions, that people don't get married during this period, even though the Sephardim can still do until the Rosh Chodesh Av. This Friday is Rosh Chodesh Av. We'll be beginning a period of 9 days when we don't eat meat or drink wine except for Shabbat. And it's a kind of a sad period of the year, yet there are certain concepts that a person can be inspired in terms of improving his ways. And I'd like to bring two stories to illustrate a point here, especially since the month of Av is connected, which will be beginning this Friday, is connected to the sense of hearing. The story goes that there was a person who came to this country who was an expert in Morse. It's the kind of language that they used to use a long time ago, but they still can use it. It's the sounds that some short sounds, long sounds in a certain succession, and that way you can communicate. And this person was an expert in Morse. He came to this country and he looked for a job as an expert in Morse. Finally, he saw an ad in a paper that they were looking for a Morse expert, and that he used to show up at a certain place about at 10:30 for an appointment. There will be interviews being held. He got delayed that day and showed up an hour late. It was already 11:30. And he looks around and he sees a room. Several people were there waiting for their interview time. And they were having a good time. They had refreshments. There was some pastries available. There was even music that was being played. And the people were relaxing there, having a pleasant time waiting for the interview. Well, he stands for a few seconds, a few moments maybe, and after that he looks around, he looks at a door that says manager's door. He walks over to the manager's door, knocks on the door, goes in. 10 minutes later, the manager comes out with the person. He says to the people who are present there, "I'm pleased to announce that we have hired the expert in Morse. This is the person that just came in now." Everybody there started complaining. How could that be? We've been waiting here for an hour. He just walked in. Why would you interview him first before us? And the manager says, the music that you've been listening to had Morse code encoded in it. And it said, the Morse code said, look for the manager's door, walk over, knock, and come in for an interview. All of you were listening to the music. You were just hearing the music. You didn't listen. You didn't pay attention. And you did not notice the message that was encoded in the music that was being played. He heard, he listened, and he understood. He's the one that deserves to get the job as the expert in Morse. That's one story. The other story is there was a water carrier, like they used to carry water a long time ago with a stick on their shoulder and two buckets, one on each side. And this person was bringing water to the king up the hill every day. And after doing it for a long time, maybe it was a couple of years, the bucket on the left side finally speaks to the water carrier and says, "It's not fair. The bucket on the right always reaches the top of the hill full. But my bucket, me, by the time we reach the top of the hill, because of a crack in the bucket, there is only half of the water that is left in the bucket. It is not fair. Why don't you fix the bucket? Why should it be this way?" And the water carrier tells the bucket that is complaining and is cracked, "Wait till tomorrow, I'll give you the answer." The next day, as they reach the top of the hill, and again, the bucket on the left is half empty or half full, the water carrier turns to the bucket on the left and says, "Please take a look behind us on the path. What do you see on the right side?" And the bucket says, "I see rocks, a little bit of grass." He says, "Okay, what do you see on the left side?" And the bucket says, "Oh, wow, what beautiful flowers. They look like wild flowers, but they're gorgeous flowers all on the left side." And the water carrier says, as we were reaching up the hill, and you did get here half full, at the same time, you were also watering the plants. And that's why on the left side, the water dripping from the crack actually had a benefit to make these beautiful flowers grow. So these two stories are to illustrate a point. We may be going through a difficult period of the year, but we have to listen and pay attention. We have to move from adversity to inspiration. There are sometimes adverse situations that happen. Question is, are we learning from them? Are we gaining an inspiration? Just like the period of this period of the year, when we think of the destruction of Bet HaMikdash, why was it destroyed? Because of sinat chinam, because of hatred in vain, because of certain type of behavior of injustice, of discord amongst people. We have to listen to the music and understand what's the message. The message is to improve our ways, to correct those things that cause the destruction of the temple. And just like the bucket watered the flowers, maybe we can use this time as we remember the difficulties of Am Yisrael during the period of the 9th of Av. Maybe we can learn from it, and it can be something inspiring to move us from adversity to inspiration, to learn from the mistakes that they did, and to learn to improve our ways and to always do better. And may we merit the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.